Johan Cruyff was simply a legend. Beginning his career in 1967 with his local side Ajax Amsterdam, Cruyff went on to make nearly 250 appearances for the Dutch club, scoring 190 goals. Ajax were transformed into one of European football's powerhouses, winning 3 consecutive European Cup titles before Cruyff moved to Barcelona in 1973, where he guided the club to La Liga title in his first season and was named European Footballer of the Year. Cruyff's international career was even more spectacular. Making his debut in 1967, he went on to score 34 goals in just 48 international appearances. In Holland's first game of the 1974 World Cup against Sweden, Cruyff produced a piece of skill that had never been seen before. On first view, it looked so simple. Feinting to run in one direction, Cruyff suddenly stopped and dragged the ball back with his other foot.
Oh, a beautiful dummy from Cruyff.
Leaving defender Jan Olsen for dead. His Cruyff term became synonymous with the player and was practiced by youngsters around the world. Having controversially blocked out the third stripe of his side's Adidas kit because he had a boot deal with Puma, Cruyff saw his side make it all the way to the final with some imperious performances, including victory over Brazil. In the final, a glittering move from kickoff saw Holland break into the box and Cruyff brought down to win a penalty. His teammate Johan Neeskens put the ball away, but the Germans came back and marked out the game in the second half. Cruyff ended up on the losing side. They are known in some circles as the greatest team never to win the World Cup, and Cruyff was seen as the pioneer and the leader in that squad. Unfortunately, this was Cruyff's only appearance in the World Cup finals, as 4 years later, he declined to be part of the squad, which also reached the final, losing to host Argentina. In the twilight of his career, Cruyff turned out for 2 clubs in America before returning to Europe. He looked set to end his career at Ajax before a controversial switch to bitter rivals Feyenoord over a contract dispute saw him end his career there instead at the age of 37. But within a year, he was back at Ajax as manager. Perhaps the philosophy that will be closely associated with Cruyff is total football, a tactic which he picked up from his old manager at Ajax, Rinus Michels. The system was based on all players being comfortable in all positions and being able to switch around when necessary to create a more fluid system. Cruyff refined that system when he moved to Barcelona, having experimented with it during his formative years as manager at Ajax. From that system, Cruyff helped to develop the famous La Masia youth academy at Barcelona, which has been responsible for the production of some of the world's greatest footballers in the last 20 years. From Pep Guardiola to Lionel Messi, who came to La Masia as a 13-year-old. It's no surprise to see all those players paying tribute to a man who was known for his skills beyond just the football pitch. After his retirement from management, Cruyff remained an influential figure in football, never short of an opinion when it came to his beloved Ajax or Barcelona. Even up until his death, he was still fighting for the style of football that he believed in.
Normally, Holland has been known by happy attacking play, scoring goals, taking risks, and that's totally the opposite now.
Cruyff once said that he had 2 passions in life, football and smoking. While still manager of Barcelona, he took to sucking on lollipops on the touchline to stave off the craving. But ultimately, he lost that battle. His death came as somewhat of a surprise, given that last month he had claimed to be 2-0 up in the fight against lung cancer. Johan Cruyff was, quite simply, a legend of the game. And as his former player at Barcelona, Gary Lineker, said, "Football has lost a man who did more to make the game beautiful than anybody else."